Good morning, good morning. Fathers of daughters. This is Ephraim Martin. I am 59 years of age, and I am the father of four adult daughters, 36, 30, 26, and 24. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another live stream. Yes, sir. We are here for another great live stream, fathers. I welcome all fathers, regardless of your ethnic group, background, and or culture. Bienvenidos, mi amigos. Hoy, gracias. Well, fathers, we're here for another live stream. And what I want to discuss today, fathers, is I want to talk about addressing our mental and physical health. Once again, fathers, I'm going to repeat that, addressing our mental and physical health as fathers of daughters. Okay, fathers, we're at all different stages of our daughters' development. Some of us have daughters that are under 10 years of age. Some of us have pre-teenagers. Some of us have teenage daughters. Or we may have all three, like at one point I did. So, fathers, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how we need to address our mental health and our physical health. Because, fathers, our daughters are going to need us birth to 18 years of age. And it's very, very important for us as fathers of daughters to take care of our mental health and our physical health. Okay, fathers? We need to make sure that we're eating correctly and eating well, because we are the head of the house and our daughters are going to be following our lead. And fathers, one of the things that I learned as a girl dad, when my girls were all under 10 years of age, is I spent a lot of time working on myself in the gym. I've been a competitive athlete my entire life. So I've always spent time in the gym. I started weight training in 1989. I've been weight training for 35 years. Back in the day, I used to compete in natural bodybuilding. So I've always taken care of myself, fathers. And at 59 years of age, I feel like I'm in my 30s. I feel amazing. I look great. I feel good and I look good. So I want to encourage fathers, when it comes to your mental health as well as your physical health, we have to take care of that. We really, really need to take care of that, specifically when our daughters are little, because it's very, very easy for us to get in a routine when we don't take care of ourselves, right? When it comes to our mental health, fathers, we're going to have mental health challenges. We all are, because it's different. Being a girl dad, it's always going to be challenging, right? So we just want to make sure that we take care of our mental health, right? Because men, we don't do that a lot of times. We don't take care of our mental health, and we allow stress to affect our bodies in ways that we didn't think were possible. And then what ends up happening to a lot of us, we get into bad habits of drinking, smoking, and doing drugs. And then that will affect our ability in our daughters' lives, because we can't be good fathers if we're not coherent, if we're not on point. And it begins with our mentality, because physically, fathers, we are capable of any and everything in our lives. I have some videos I want to share with you today, fathers. And the videos I'm going to be sharing with you are talking about our mental health, our spiritual health, our physical health, and our nutritional health. Those are all important, fathers, okay? We have to take care of all four of those, because if we don't, we're going to become victims. We are going to become victims. Trust me, we will. Because when we don't take care of our health, that's all we got, fathers. I can promise you this, at 59 years of age, feeling the way that I do, feel like I'm still in my 30s. If we don't take care of our physical health, that's all that we got. Once our health starts to go, we're done. I can promise you we're done. So I'm telling you, at 59 years of age, I can still do things that I used to be able to do in my 30s. I feel great. I feel amazing. I've never stopped training in the gym, even when my girls were little. There were times when my daughters were little, I didn't get to go to the gym until like 10, 11 o'clock at night sometimes. That's what it was because the girls, my daughters, had to be taken care of. I had to bathe them, I had to feed them. Yes, my wife had helped me. Of course, your wives are going to help you. They're not going to let you struggle. But what I'm saying, when you are married, or if you're divorced, or if you're a single father, you've got to take care of your physical health. You have to, fathers, because like I said, once your health goes, you're done. Trust me. I see a lot of men in my age bracket, right? I'm Gen X. See a lot of Gen Xers. They've worked their entire lives, right? They've taken care of their children, and their health is shot to hell. It really, really is. And I just want to encourage you younger fathers in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s. You guys are young. You're younger than me. You're way younger than me. So it is critical and it is vital that you take care of your mental and physical health. Nutrition is a big part of that, fathers. Okay? Because the older you get, if you didn't take care of your nutritional needs when you were younger, you're going to pay. Trust me. I've never been hurt or injured in the gym, ever. In the 35 years I've been weight training, never been hurt or injured. And I have to attribute that to grace of God, first and foremost. But I've always been aware of my limitations. But I've been an athlete, like I said, my entire life. So having an athletic background has helped me. It's never hindered me. It's always helped me. So fathers, Grow That YouTube channel is all about education and information through instruction. I am here because this is my way of giving back to all fathers. This is what I want to do. I'm at a transition in my life. My daughters are adult women. They're living their best lives. They're all professional women. God bless them. They're amazing women. So this is what I'm doing. I'm giving back to fathers because I've raised my daughters in every stage of development. And since I have this time and I'm in a totally different transition in my life, I want to see all fathers sustain long-term relationships with their baby girls. My book, Daddy's Girls, can be purchased at Amazon.com. It's complimentary of my live streams and my videos. Feel free to purchase it, fathers. Okay? So like I said, fathers, Grow That YouTube channel is all about education through information and instruction. So the videos that I'm going to share with you today, fathers, I want you to process them. I want you to take them in. I want you to be able to walk away better than you came to me today. That's one of the goals, right? But we have to always make sure that our mental health and our physical health and our spiritual health is on point. That's how we're going to be able to raise these healthy baby girls. That's how we're going to be able to raise them, fathers. So I'm going to press you on that. I'm going to challenge you on that to make sure you take care of yourselves. Because if you're not healthy, the family's not healthy. That's just what it is, fathers. So let's get into these videos, fathers. Let's check them out and let's enjoy them, okay? I welcome you all. Let's get busy, fathers.
If you don't feel your best, there's no way you can give your best to your loved ones. This is why mental health and wellness for dads is just as important as it is for anyone else.
Joining us now to share ways dads can improve their mental health is Dr. Sheehan Fisher. Dr. Fisher, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I mean, so many times we talk about the moms and their depression possibility while they're pregnant and postpartum, but all of this can happen to dads too.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Like fathers are at risk for depression double than usual for any time of their life. And so understanding that fathers can actually develop depressive and anxiety symptoms is very important for the family health.
And it looks very different in men than it does in women. How does it show in men?
Well, there's something called masculine depression. And so men sometimes can engage in hypersexuality, substance use, and even aggression as a way to cope with their emotions. So they may not report traditional symptoms of depression, but are actually experiencing a depressive episode.
When you say aggression, what do you mean by aggression?
Like verbal aggression, irritation, just kind of being more aggressive than normal. You start to see that spill out in their day-to-day interactions with their family and even at work.
All right, here's the $1 million question. How do we get them to do anything about it?
Yes, that's the hard part for them, for one, to understand what they're going through, but then to understand it actually matters.
Yeah.
So what I try to emphasize is that father mental health actually has a direct impact on the child's health outcomes. Historically, we thought that only the mother's mental health mattered, but the more fathers understand that actually when they suffer, their child suffers, they tend to be more motivated to do something about it.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily see it though,
Yeah.
right? So how can you help them to see that? Or is there a way to help them see that?
Yeah, so we want fathers to be more in tune with their own experiences. Positively, they want to support the mom and really engage with her, but need to actually be more self-reflective, understand how are they coping with the stress and what is going on in their own body and their emotional experiences, so they actually can talk to someone about it, whether family or friends, or even get professional support.
I know, like when we go for an annual exam or your physical, like a lot of times those questions, at least in my experience, are posed to us so our doctors can screen. Are they doing that for men as well?
Not for fathers. Typically,
Okay.
we don't screen fathers for depression when they're coming in, even for like pediatrician appointments or if they even join the partner. So we need to actually do more. There's actually mandated screening for moms in Illinois, which is one of the rare states that has it. But we need to start thinking about the father too, to make sure we support the family health.
Now, what does it look like? So if a man is sitting here watching this segment right now, how do they know that they may need to go and seek some help?
Well, they should start to notice that they might function differently. They can't really show up at work the same way. They might need an extra nightcap at the end of the night, trying to have a little more drink just to cope with their stress, or just might start to notice that they might have more conflict with their partner than normal. And when that happens, just to be aware of it and then take a step to at least get it assessed. You may not need professional support, but at least having someone to take a look at you can be useful to see whether you are dealing with a depressive episode or anxiety, or whether this is just normal stress that you can cope with on your own.
I mean, let's face it, kids are frustrating, right? We both have little ones, and we're all going to lose our cool at some point or another. Where's the line between losing your cool on your kids and knowing that it's your mental health that's at risk?
Well, when you start to notice it's perpetual, that, you know what, you have a moment, that happens, just being normal. But if that starts to continue on, or really finding you're struggling to be able to cope with the stress where you feel like you are not your normal self, that's when you start to notice that you might need extra support.
And so what can we do as family members, as a society, to try to support them and help them?
Well, we need to normalize men talking about their emotions, make it more acceptable. And that big piece of it is media, making media, the more it shows men showing the range of emotions and experiences, especially as fathers, can go a long way. And we also even need policies. Like we don't have parental leave for fathers. We don't have different policies that help support fathers transition to this new role as a parent.
Well, and generationally, it's so different, right? Somebody in their 20s who's about to be a dad versus somebody in their 50s who has been a dad for a while are going to look really different.
They are going to look different. And I think it's also a transition period for men in general, because they don't really have a blueprint of how to be a father. Many times their fathers were as involved. So now they're trying to be more involved. They don't really know how to do that while maintaining their normal work life.
What happens if they don't go get help?
It can get worse. We know that the first 5 years, the trajectory can get worse over time. And what's most important for the type of work I do is understanding that actually affects the child's health trajectory, that their health, for their child mental health and medical health, can actually be impacted by the father's mental health during that first few years.
I noticed, I think we moms see it on social media, that there's a certain subset of moms who do everything for their child. They play with them, they're doing all this teaching, and it puts pressure on us. Is that happening to men too?
They're starting to transition that way. They're starting to try to be more involved and be active parents. Many times even want to be equal parents within the home. But as they're moving that direction, they are struggling with how do I create balance? And I think moms and dads together are trying to figure out, both of them, how do we do this together and work as a unit, even though there is disadvantages for what they might experience.
So what's the first step to getting help?
First step to getting help is talk to your PCP. Just get a screener.
PCP meaning your primary
care physician, sorry. And just explain, hey, I'm going through something. Can you at least assess me, see what's going on? And then from there, you can get a referral to a psychologist, psychiatrist who can evaluate you further, just to make sure you're getting the support you need.
Dr. Fisher, thank you so much for joining us. sheandfisher.com is his website if you'd like some more information. See if you need to see somebody, right? You never know until you reach out.
All right.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mercedes. Mercedes.
Our environment. Our environment, a deadly virus, toxic politics, violence, out there in the world, so much turmoil. As a new father, I have deep fears about how to protect my little world. Laughter, growth, smiles, happiness. Amid so much chaos, how can I keep myself in order for my baby daughter? I'd imagine other new dads are staying awake at night wondering the same.
It's a very candid 3 hours as we discuss new fatherhood, new parenthood.
Skylar Topman leads a boot camp for new dads in Colorado. He's been doing it for more than 15 years. Mental health is a huge topic, especially in the last few years.
It's no longer postpartum depression. It's now perinatal mood and anxiety disorders. That's a much more comprehensive term. And as you alluded to, anxiety is actually the bellwether symptom of what we're discussing here. We didn't even talk about it 4 years ago. We didn't know that dads went through it.
While PMADS, for short, is now recognized as a mental health issue among men, Skylar suspects more dads are facing it today when you add in the pandemic and the chaos of the world.
That's the grim news. The good news is we're ready for it. Piece of advice I suggest to guys is you have a conversation with mom and give her permission to call someone on your behalf. If you need help, if you need to talk to someone professionally.
He says parents can ask a pediatrician for help if somebody's behavior changes.
Dads talk about irritability at work, shortness of just impatience and anger with people, road rage, things like that. It's more diffuse. It's not specifically related to the baby, and it's less connected to the birth.
I asked him how partners can approach dads who may be reluctant to talk about their mental health. He said an honest talk in the morning is a good start.
One of the most important things I think to do is approach dad in the morning. It's a strange thing to say, but we're at our best in the mornings. We're more ready for whatever's going on. Don't hope and wait for it to go away. That's a very big piece of advice. Don't hope this goes away in mom or in you.
It can be a wild place out there. Understanding what's really happening inside us sometimes takes help from others. It really does take a village to take on the world. Jeremy Hohola, 9 News.
He had more personality. He had more personality than a whole bunch of people put together. I miss him terribly. I miss him every day.
The guilt felt by Connor McDaniel's father is overwhelming. Last year, the 26-year-old veteran sent his last email to his loved ones.
He felt like his entire life would have been a series of bad experiences.
His family tried to stop him, his father David calling law enforcement for help. El Paso County Sheriff's deputies found McDaniel first, where he provoked them to shoot and kill him. The district attorney's office ruled the shooting was justified. David McDaniel is now fulfilling a promise to his son that he would never be just another number.
My son made it very clear in his note to us that he didn't want to be a gun violence statistic, a veteran suicide statistic.
McDaniel wants to ensure every veteran receives access to mental health care after they return home. And data shows the need is rising. The Department of Veterans Affairs projects a 32% spike in outpatient mental health care over the next 10 years. And 1/3 of veterans who received care from the VA were diagnosed with at least one mental health condition. Stigma and shame are some of them, according to Bob McLaughlin with the Mount Carmel Veterans Service Center.
It's about resiliency, right? And when that breaks, when people feel that they're weak, that's against the culture.
In a 2018 study from the peer-reviewed BMC Health Service Journal, researchers found a majority of veterans were worried about what others would think if they sought treatment. University of Memphis President Michael Rudd also says troops on active duty can face consequences for reaching out for help.
Ultimately, the concern is about the impact on career progression, the impact on your deployability, the impact on all sorts of things in terms of advancement. That's how stigma is maintained.
Some veterans told the BMC that fear lingers long into retirement. In an effort to erase stigma, the VA created a national campaign called The Veterans Know, where former service members encourage each other to take charge of their mental health.
Really is quite empowering to hear veterans talk about their struggle, how they became aware of their struggle, and then all the different kinds of ways that they got help.
Even when veterans look for treatment, the BMC study found that many had little confidence in the VA healthcare system. Veterans who were interviewed pointed to appointment problems and staffing issues and limited follow-up from providers and staff.
It's just starting to build back up into another waitlist scandal.
Before the problem drops to a crisis point like the waitlist scandal in 2014. Navy veteran Paula Dean accused the VA in Phoenix of lying to the federal government about shorter appointment wait times. An audit from the VA Inspector General found systemic problems throughout the VA, discovering the average wait was really 115 days, and at least 40 veterans died without the chance to see a doctor.
There was 111 VA facilities that were using the same methodology and manipulating the wait time data to make them look good.
VA Secretary Eric Shinseki stepped down in the wake of the scandal, and then President Barack Obama signed 19 executive orders to improve VA hospitals. On the website, the VA says it implemented new methods of calculating average wait times to be more accurate, so patients can check how long it will take to see a provider. The wait times change daily, but when we last checked within 50 miles of Chicago, the wait was anywhere from 9 to 13 days. Under the VA Mission Act of 2018, which aims to provide broader health access, veterans should only wait a standard of 20 days after requesting a mental health appointment. Rural areas also face unique geographical hurdles, like in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. When we last checked, there is one treatment facility in the area with a 15-day wait. The center with the second earliest availability is 95 miles away. If veterans can't get the help they need, the VA Mission Act says the VA is supposed to pay other healthcare systems to take over, like community care. But an investigation from USA Today last year found in some cases, administrators overruled doctor recommendations to send vets outside the VA in order to retain patients. And once people are sent to community care, the average wait time is about 42 days. The VA told USA Today it's following Mission Act requirements, and some doctors say expanded telehealth is easing struggles.
The way that psychiatrists and psychologists can work with someone in the rural area is really effective by using these systems as well.
VA data shows the pandemic drove telehealth appointments to unprecedented heights, jumping nearly 2,000% between January 2020 and 2021. Officials told Congress last year about spending government funds to expand care and improve reach.
We distributed over 84,000 iPads, 20,000 cellular phones. It helped us to accelerate our modernization of bandwidth. We were able to reach over 2,100 locations with increased bandwidth on modernized platforms.
Today, the system is supporting over 100,000 remote users. Still, some veterans expressed distrust over using online services, telling BMC researchers they think the system will share private information. One Vietnam veteran confessed he was afraid that sharing about his time overseas would land him in jail. Other vets say they simply didn't know anything about VA benefits before leaving the military. They struggled to understand how to find or use mental health services as veterans instead of as active duty members. The VA built MakeTheConnection.net, an online resource to link up veterans with resources and solutions for their mental health needs. There are also free online tools for veterans to deal with sleep issues or anger management, plus a crisis line with 24/7 support for vets and their families. But VA Dr. Brett Berger says it's important for veterans to take the difficult first step and seek the support they need.
Veterans are proud. They've served their country. They don't want to admit that they have a problem or admit to defeat in any way. So admitting like they have a mental health problem is really difficult.
As for David McDaniel,
If we can make the D disappear from PTSD, and it's not such a stigma, and it's something everybody who's been in combat goes for some mental health, I think it will change things a lot.
he just wants to make sure troops know they aren't alone when they come back from deployment, while keeping his son's memory alive along the way. Alex Miller, Newsy.
As a Black man in this day and age, there are so many issues that we are faced with.
The average life expectancy difference between an African American man and their counterpart, the white male, is 12 years. What would you do with 12 more years?
All of our initiatives, all of our programs, they were all developed in response to an issue that was happening in our community.
The African American Male Wellness Agency, we specialize in providing educational programming, testing, and resources, specifically for African American males and their families, in an effort to close the health disparity gap in our community. Originally, our parent company, the National Center for Urban Solutions, started off as a workforce agency, working to help get African American men and women off public assistance, employed and self-sustainable. And so what we identified is that it's hard to do that when there are other underlying issues such as health. Our walk began in 2004 as the result of a research project that our founder and president, Mr. John Gregory, did. He took 100 African American men and he employed them for 26 weeks.
When the guys told Mr. Gregory, it's like, yo, Black men are dying and nobody cares. Mr. Gregory took a step back and asked, he said, well, why are they dying?
As a result of that project, 90% of the men revealed that they had an elevated health level in some way, shape, or form, whether it's blood pressure, glucose, BMI.
It was from preventable things that could very easily be discovered and addressed if the men had just gone to get health screenings and gone to the doctor.
Traditionally, African American males and their families are at the bottom rung of the health disparity gap on a number of different levels. So you're talking about physical health, mental health, financial stability, life expectancy, infant mortality.
As the African American Male Wellness Agency, we're one addressing the health barriers. After the health barriers, we're addressing the mental barriers. We're addressing the economic barriers with workforce. And it makes for a holistic approach.
African American males traditionally are very hard to reach, are very hard to engage just because a lot of mistrust.
The racial inequality that we've experienced, the physical trauma that we have experienced, all plays into our physical well-being as well as our mental well-being. So when you put that all together, you see the disparities.
Being residents in these communities, being members of the Black community, we're in these environments every day. We're meeting these people, or we've gone to school with these people, or we've worked with these people in the past, or we see them in our neighborhoods. When we come with information or we come with services, because of the relationships that we have, people typically trust us.
It's also about our approach. We're going out with a smile and handing out material and saying, hey, this may be helpful to you.
We know that the best way to reach our people is to go and talk to our people. That's what everything at this agency is about.
Meeting people where they are, going out on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis to the community, going house to house, store to store, and talking to people and passing out the information. Not only are we doing that, but we're bringing our partners with us, such as NAMI, taking their information, and we do it in a way that the people understand us.
Put it in somebody's hand, let them know, say, hey, we're doing this because we care about you.
That belonging piece, that relationship piece, that engagement and interaction piece is what we do well across all of our programming. And that's what ties back so closely to the mental health approach.
And so we talk often like, all right, let's heal. But then we don't talk about anything that's going on.
In our community, Black community, African-American community, we have a stigma about mental health because it is almost considered a weakness.
We don't say like what our issues are. We don't say what our anxieties are, what our fears are. We don't talk about the trauma from our past. We don't talk about what keeps us up at night.
The trauma that we've have experienced, be it related to police brutality or COVID or just losing a job, the violence in the street among African Americans and then within the community. This now becomes a serious conversation of our mental well-being, our state of mind.
We want to take those conversations that are happening inside of us and have them outside of us with our community.
We need to listen, not just to listen and not just to understand, but we need to listen so that we can make that person feel as if they matter, because they truly do. So whether we're talking to people about fatherhood, whether we're talking to them about finances, we want them to feel comfortable. We want them to feel welcome, because that is what allows them to open up to us and for us to get them the help that they ultimately need. We have been doing a lot of work with barbers as it pertains to mental health and engaging men.
In the African American community, the barbershop is a place where you'll have men, women, and children go, and it's almost like a opportunity for them to talk about anything and everything. That was our starting point to talk about mental health.
We work with the Ohio State University, the Star Center, to provide a mental health training around trauma and first aid. And so we provide these trainings twice a month for barbers and beauticians completely for free, and they can earn a certification. We've empowered these people to be advocates of mental health, and that way they can go out to the community and help people that they serve to get resources that they need to improve their mental health.
The fatherhood program, the one that I'm over, we were having something called the dad call, and men would call into our Zoom and we would just have conversations about being a dad. Dads are sharing their mistakes and their concerns, their worries, their fears, their success stories. If you have other people that are going through the same thing, not only do you have an opportunity to hear about what their solutions might be, you also just don't feel alone, which is, nobody wants to be alone. When we host events, we don't want there to be any barriers of entry because we're trying to reach them. We want them to know that these services are here.
I think the greatest part of what we do is that everything is free. And so we've alleviated the financial barrier that sometimes discourages people from accessing these resources. With the African American Male Wellness Walk, it started here in Columbus, Ohio in 2004. We are currently in 16 cities across the United States. In 2019 here in Columbus, we served 30,000 people at the walk. We were able to provide over 4,500 individual health screenings. And those health screenings really go a long way in changing lives of people because we're able to provide better care. We're able to make referrals to primary care physicians. And even in some circumstances where we have to call an ambulance or an emergency vehicle, we save lives. We look at it from a standpoint of we come in and provide assistance and provide resources our ultimate end goal at the end of the day is that the people will take these resources and become kind of independent in their own way of handling their health and wellness.
Helping another man that looks like me, that has some of the same experiences, is a great feeling. And not only that, then I'm able to, by helping him, helping myself, I help the community. We become good stewards of the community. And by making a community better stewards of the city, of the state, of the country, then, you know, it all helps everyone.
There are a lot of great agencies in town, but I know one thing is that we work with partners who are not necessarily trained or commonly work with African Americans, but we kind of help guide them along the way. We help them speak the speak and walk the walk and talk the talk, and kind of encourage them to say, hey, you know, here's some best practices, or here's some things you may need to know when dealing with this particular group of people. And so I think, as opposed to maybe reading a book or, you know, doing a webinar, it's actually getting out into the community, working with these community partners that serve these groups, and they'll give you a greater understanding on a firsthand level.
I would ask partners to understand what we're doing, how it works, what our mission is, what our goals are. Have an open mind and an open heart about what we're trying to do, and partner with us, because we're doing good things, and not just for us, but for all that we serve. Health and wellness, fatherhood, jobs, addressing alcohol and drug addiction. Those are all important things, as I've always said, not only just for our community, but for all communities. And if we work together, we can do great things.
Okay, fathers. Those were the first 4 videos. I think I have 4 more left. And our mental health, very, very critical, very, very necessary, very, very important. So I needed to show the video on the military veterans because I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. I served in the United States Marine Corps 1984 to 1988. And I never saw combat because my years of service, there weren't any wars between 1984 to 1988. The Iraq War was a year later, 1989. And before I went in the United States Marine Corps, the Marine barracks in October of 1983 had been bombed in Beirut. So I just knew that's where I was going. But once I went to boot camp and went to paralegal school, they kept me stateside. So I didn't end up going overseas like I thought I was going to. I eventually went overseas in 1987. But prior to that, it was there was a peaceful time from 1984 to 1988. So I never saw combat. And a lot of military veterans, they struggle with their mental health. I've been a part of the VA since I've been out of the United States Marine Corps in 1988. I only go to the Veterans Administration. And the reason I go, one, they have great care. And for two, it's always a reminder for me when I look at and I see other veterans that have lost their limbs and are struggling with mental health. That could have been me. So it's a reminder for me to be grateful to God first and foremost, with the blessings of not seeing combat, because I can tell you a lot of my friends that did end up going to war came back with PTSD. So it's real. It is definitely real. PTSD is a real thing. Mental health, fathers. We have to take care of our mental health, because if we don't take care of our mental health, as the first video the doctor was talking about, we're not going to be good for our families. There's just no way. So men have to teach themselves, and we have to learn. We have to go to the doctor. I know men don't want to. We're very, very stubborn, but we have to go. I make sure specifically, once I turned 50, 9 years ago, I get my blood drawn twice a year. I have to see where my I have to see where I'm at physically. So, like I said, I get my blood drawn twice a year, and I always want to make sure that my blood count is good and all of my other organs are functioning well. And I haven't had any issues by the grace of God. I really haven't. So my mind's still fresh. I'm sharp as hell, and I have to do my part. And that's the most important thing, fathers. We have to do our part, because if we don't do our part, life's not going to be good to us. It just isn't. You know, we can't abuse our nutrition. We can't abuse our bodies physically and neglect ourselves in our mental health, because eventually we're going to crash and burn. So just want to extend my hand to all new fathers and older fathers like myself that have adult children. Our health is our wealth, because that's all that we got. Okay, fathers, I have a couple more videos. The next two videos are going to be talking about spiritual wellness. Okay?
Spiritual wellness incorporates a number of things about our persons, from connection to community, to connection to nature, to our own sort of measures of compassion and patience, and the ability to sort of move through life with that kind of resilience. And I think there are many spiritual practices that are common to a lot of faith traditions that are available, from solitude and time in nature to corporate singing to meditation. I think these are worth sort of figuring out what works for you. Things like meditation might be awkward a little bit at first, but really want to find the things that you can grow into and find joy in, the things that feed and resonate with you, so that you come back to them, right? And it's not going to work if it's another trudge item on your chore list to check off. It's got to be something that you find fulfilling. As you're coming into sort of a new place in life here, you have an opportunity to be deliberate about things that won't just happen by accident. And maybe that's making a space for when and where you're going to get outside or meditate, or what communities you're going to plug into. Things that may have just been a matter of like inertia before, right? You're already connected into these things. Now a lot of your habits are sort of broken, and you have to establish new ones in a new place. And it's important to build those connections and be mindful about those connections and which ones need to be sort of cultivated and tended to, and which ones aren't.
Who are you? Who are you? What's the meaning of life? Who let the dogs out? These are all important questions that you might find yourself pondering from time to time. And it just so happens that exploring your spirituality can have a range of positive benefits, including building gratitude and reducing stress. So today I'm going to show you how exploring your spirituality can improve your mental health and well-being. So let's talk. I'm Jeremy Godwin, and I teach you how to improve your mental health. And one of the things I cover a lot in my work is the idea that our well-being is made up of multiple parts: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, social, and financial. In an age of instant gratification, endless notifications, and 24/7 connectivity, many of us find ourselves yearning for a deeper, more meaningful connection with life. Enter spiritual well-being. At its core, spiritual well-being speaks to our inner essence, our beliefs, our values, and the sense of meaning and purpose we look for in life. What is spiritual well-being? It's the sense of peace and purpose that comes from connecting with something greater than yourself, whether that's a set of deeply held beliefs, nature, or a higher power. You don't have to be religious to explore spirituality. It's about finding meaning in life events and aligning your actions with your inner values to help you live a fulfilled and balanced life. So, how can spirituality improve your mental health? Spirituality can serve as a grounding force, offering a broader perspective that helps you navigate life's ups and downs with resilience and hope. By connecting with something greater than yourself, you can find a sense of purpose and meaning, key elements for sustaining good mental health. How can you explore your spirituality? Tip 1. Dive into self-reflection. One of the most intimate conversations you can have is with yourself. By setting aside quiet moments to delve into your innermost thoughts and emotions, you embark on a journey of self-discovery. Reflection offers clarity, helping to align your actions with your values, and ensuring that the daily hustle doesn't eclipse life's deeper purpose. There are lots of simple ways to reflect regularly, whether it's journaling, meditative thinking, or simply pondering life's big questions during a silent walk. Self-reflection acts as a grounding force, anchoring you to your true self. I have a simple digital tool to help you reflect a little each day. It's linked in the episode description. Tip 2. Mindful walking. Try going for a walk where you're focused on being fully present every step of the way. This is a great way to reconnect with yourself, especially if you're feeling disconnected. You can do this in a park, by the beach, or even around your neighborhood. The idea is to focus entirely on the experience of walking. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the air around you, and pay attention to every breath. By focusing on the present moment, you draw attention away from life's distractions and create a space for spiritual reflection. Do this by setting aside at least 20 minutes for a dedicated walk, uninterrupted by technology or other distractions. Tip 3. Affirmations and positive self-talk. What you tell yourself matters. Create a list of positive affirmations or spiritual truths that resonate with you. Whenever you feel off balance, silently repeat those affirmations. They serve as mini spiritual anchors, reminding you of the bigger picture of life. Write down affirmations on cards and keep them handy, or set reminders on your phone to pause and affirm your truths during the day. Tip 4. Embrace mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness is the art of being present, fully immersing yourself in the current moment. Through mindfulness meditation, you learn to observe your thoughts without judgment, fostering a sense of inner calm. This practice is pivotal for mental health because it equips you with tools to navigate stress, anxiety, and overwhelming emotions. It's as simple as finding a quiet spot, focusing on your breath, and letting your thoughts flow, observed but not judged. Tip 5. Acts of kindness. What this world needs right now is a lot more kindness. Whether it's a big gesture or simply a nice deed, acts of kindness can be deeply spiritual. By positively impacting another person's life, you create ripples of goodness and experience the joy of selfless giving. And remember that you get back what you put out. Whether it's volunteering, helping a neighbor, or even just offering someone a genuine compliment, kind deeds brighten not just the receiver's day, but yours as well. Here's the thing. Exploring your spirituality has a huge impact on your overall well-being, and it helps you better understand your place in the world and not let yourself get so bogged down by trivial day-to-day issues. Explore your spiritual well-being with an open heart and an open mind. And remember that it's a lifelong journey, not a destination you have to rush towards. Take it one step at a time and focus on your peace of mind above all things. You've got this. If this video was helpful, please give it a like, and you can also listen to me talk about this topic and more over on the Let's Talk About Mental Health podcast. Available now wherever you get your podcasts. It's linked in the description, or just head to ltamh.com. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take care and talk to you next time. Thank you to my supporters on Patreon. For early episode access and ad-free content, join now using the link in the episode description.
Okay, fathers, spiritual wellness. I think it's critical. I was very blessed by being able, when I was in the United States Marine Corps, when I went overseas in 1987, I got stationed on a Marine barracks, Diego Garcia. It's in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It's south of India. It belongs to the British Indian Ocean Territories, BIOT. So we were the first Marine barracks deployed there on Diego Garcia. You could Google Diego Garcia and check it out on YouTube as well. It's a small island, and it's a naval. The Navy is stationed there, mostly Navy. So we had a Marine barracks there, and I was blessed enough. I got to travel the entire year I was there, and Diego Garcia. I went to about 30 countries. I was gone quite a bit as a Marine. So anyway, I ended up going to Indonesia in Jakarta, Indonesia, and I got to hang out with the monks for about 3 days. And it was a spiritual experience I went through with the monks. And I remember them telling me the simplest thing. They said, Ephraim, we want you to be better leaving us than how you came to us. And I learned a lot from the monks in Indonesia, in Jakarta. And I also had the opportunity to spend that year of traveling and, coming back and forth between the Marine barracks and different countries of just studying different religions. And I remember when I did go to India that, I got to I saw the Taj Mahal, and I've seen some incredible places in my life. So very, very blessed. But yeah, the spiritual experience, because I was raised in the Pentecostal church, and born and raised in the Pentecostal church. So hanging out with the monks was a totally different experience for me. And it was a religious experience, a spiritual experience that changed my entire life. So very grateful, very thankful, and God puts you in places where you need to be. So just wanted to share that. But spiritual wellness, fathers, I think it's important. Okay, we have 2 more videos, and I'm going to wrap up this live stream. One video is going to be talking about our physical health, and one video is going to be talking about nutritional health. And then we'll wrap up this live stream, fathers.
Dad duties. Dad Duties, the ultimate cross training. It's about everyday challenges. Cross-functional training. What's that? It's a term you might have heard thrown around in fitness circles, but what does it really mean, especially for busy dads? Cross-functional training is like a secret weapon for busy dads. It's a way to stay fit and active without needing to carve out extra time for the gym. Imagine combining your daily activities with exercises that keep you strong and agile. It's all about performing exercises that mimic the movements you do every day. Think about lifting your child, carrying groceries, or pushing a stroller uphill. These are all functional movements that can be turned into effective workouts. Think of it as training your body for the real world, not just the gym. You're preparing yourself for the physical demands of everyday life, making it easier to handle whatever comes your way. Instead of isolating muscles, you'll be working multiple muscle groups simultaneously, just like you do when you're chasing your little ones around the house. This holistic approach ensures that your body works as a cohesive unit. This type of training not only builds strength, but also improves your endurance, flexibility, and balance. All essential qualities for keeping up with the demands of fatherhood. Imagine having the energy to play with your kids without feeling exhausted. And the best part? You don't need fancy equipment or hours at the gym to reap the benefits. Simple bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, and even your kids can be part of your workout routine. You can easily incorporate cross-functional exercises into your daily routine, even with a hectic schedule. Whether it's doing squats while holding your child or lunges in the park, every little bit adds up. So why not turn playtime into workout time and make fitness a family affair? Finding time. You got this, Dad. We get it, dads are busy. Between work, family, and maybe even a sliver of personal time, squeezing in a workout can feel impossible. But here's the secret. You don't need a dedicated hour at the gym. Cross-functional training can be done anywhere, anytime. Turn playtime with your kids into a workout. Hold your little one while doing squats or lunges. Use those grocery bags as makeshift weights for bicep curls and tricep extensions. Even while watching TV, you can sneak in some planks or push-ups. Remember, every little bit counts. Exercise 1 squats for super dad strength. Squats are the king of compound exercises, working your legs, core, and even your back. They're like the Swiss Army knife of exercises, beneficial for everything from lifting your kids to improving your posture. How to do it? Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly pointed out, keeping your back straight and core engaged. Lower your hips as if sitting back into a chair. Go as low as comfortable, aiming for your thighs to be parallel to the ground. Push through your heels to return to the starting position. Dad benefits. Effortlessly, lift your kids, carry heavy laundry baskets, and navigate stairs with ease. Exercise 2, deadlifts for effortless lifting. This exercise is a game changer for anyone looking to enhance their strength and functionality in everyday life. Deadlifts are another powerhouse exercise targeting your back, legs, and grip strength. They engage multiple muscle groups, making them incredibly efficient for building overall body strength. Mastering the deadlift will make picking up heavy objects from grocery bags to furniture a breeze. Imagine being able to lift and move things around the house without any struggle or risk of injury. How to do it. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, a weight or a sturdy object in front of you. This stance provides a stable base and ensures you can lift safely. Hinge at your hips, keeping your back straight and core engaged. This movement is crucial to protect your spine and maximize the effectiveness of the lift. Grab the weight with an overhand grip, slightly wider than shoulder width. This grip helps distribute the weight evenly and allows for better control. Keeping your back straight, lift the weight off the ground by extending your hips and knees simultaneously. This coordinated movement ensures that you use your strongest muscles to lift. Lower the weight back to the ground with a controlled movement. This not only prevents injury, but also works your muscles on the way down, enhancing strength and stability. Dad benefits. Pick up heavy objects without straining your back, improve your posture, and reduce the risk of injury. Deadlifts are not just about lifting weights. They are about lifting your quality of life and boost your overall strength. Incorporating deadlifts into your routine will make you feel stronger, more confident, and ready to tackle any physical challenge that comes your way. Exercise 3 rows for a strong back and shoulders. Rows are essential for building a strong back and shoulders, which are crucial for carrying kids, hauling groceries, and maintaining good posture. How to do it. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, holding a weight in each hand. Bend at your hips, keeping your back straight and core engaged. Let the weights hang towards the floor. Pull the weights towards your chest, keeping your elbows close to your body. Slowly lower the weights back to the starting position. Dad benefits. Carry your kids for longer periods, improve your posture, and prevent back pain. Exercise 4. Farmer's carry for everyday tasks. The farmer's carry is as simple as it sounds. You pick up a weight in each hand and walk. This exercise mimics everyday tasks like carrying groceries or moving furniture and builds incredible grip and core strength. How to do it? Stand with your feet hip-width apart, a weight in each hand. Keep your back straight, shoulders back, and core engaged. Walk forward for a set distance or time, maintaining a steady pace and upright posture. Dad benefits. Carry groceries with ease, improve your grip strength, and enhance your core stability. Exercise 5. Plank for core stability and balance. The plank might look easy, but oh boy, it's a killer core workout that also engages your back, shoulders, and glutes. A strong core is essential for everything from maintaining good posture to preventing injuries. How to do it? Get into a push-up position, then lower yourself onto your forearms. Your body should form a straight line from head to heels. Engage your core and hold this position for as long as possible, maintaining proper form. Dad benefits. Improve your balance and stability, prevent back pain, and enhance your overall athleticism. Consistency is key, make it a habit. The key to unlocking your dad's strength is consistency. You don't need to spend hours at the gym, but you do need to make exercise a regular part of your routine. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week. Remember, even short bursts of activity throughout the day can add up. Make exercise a family affair. Take your kids for a bike ride, go for a hike, or play a game of tag in the park. Not only will you be getting in shape, but you'll also be creating lasting memories with your children. Dad Strong benefits for you and your family. The benefits of cross-functional training extend far beyond just physical strength. By incorporating these exercises into your routine, you'll not only feel better physically, but also mentally and emotionally. You'll have more energy to keep up with your kids, be more patient and present, and set a positive example for your family. Remember, being a dad is a marathon, not a sprint. Investing in your health and fitness is an investment in your family's well-being, so embrace the challenge, unlock your inner dad strength, and enjoy the journey. Unleash your inner dad strength. Being a dad is a demanding job, both physically and mentally, but it's also incredibly rewarding. By incorporating cross-functional training into your routine, you can build the strength, endurance, and resilience you need to tackle the challenges of fatherhood head-on. Remember, you're not just a dad, you're a superhero in disguise. Now go out there and unleash your inner dad strength.
Excuse me.
So what happened?
Oh, excuse me.
So what happens to your body when you start eating healthy? Here are some things you'll notice immediately, and hopefully will keep you eating healthy in the future. Now, I was thinking about this the other day when I was watching a lecture about climate change. And I said, well, what does climate change have to do with eating healthy? Well, the whole point of this lecture was that climate change doesn't necessarily impact you right where you are at that time. The impacts regarding climate change and how it relates to you are distant. It may be somebody who lives far away. It may be 20 years in the future, maybe even your grandkids. And it's really hard to make yourself make changes for things that are not impacting you immediately. We all have this problem. You know, if you put your hand on the stove and it hurts, you're going to take your hand away and you're never going to touch it again. But if you eat some sugary foods and 30 years later you're at risk for a heart attack, that's a much harder association to make and change to make based on those things. So today I'm going to give you some things that you can pay attention to that maybe will happen quickly so you can be motivated to make healthy changes and continue to lead a healthier life. I'm Dr. Blake Schusterman. I'm a board-certified kidney doctor, and I'm also the cooking doc. And everything we talk about here today is just for information. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click the like button, hit that bell so you never miss a new recipe or new health tip. Every week, I want to give you one piece of information, make you more knowledgeable so that you can lead a healthier lifestyle and better your health in many ways. So the first thing you'll notice when you start eating healthier foods is you'll want healthier foods in the future. Believe it or not, but the more you eat them, the more you'll want them later, and the more your body will get used to them. So you kind of have to just get over that hump, and then your body will keep asking for you to be healthy. Next, and this is my favorite one, you're going to feel better. Pay attention to how you feel after you have a big, heavy meal or fast food. You probably don't feel so good. But if you've eaten a lighter meal that still tastes good, but that doesn't have so many calories or fat or salt, your body will actually feel better, especially if you've made that food at home. Pay attention to your body. It'll tell you how you feel after you eat, and if you pay attention, you'll notice that healthier food makes you feel better. You know what else you're going to feel? You're going to feel more confident. Now, how does confidence have to do with how you're eating? I'll tell you. When you make a decision and you make a change to do something to better your health, you're going to be proud of yourself. And you should be, because it's not easy. But making a decision to go on a walk or exercise or create a healthy meal will make you feel better about yourself. Not only will your body feel better, but you're going to be more confident, and you're going to want to keep making decisions to keep up that confidence, to make you feel better, make you feel stronger. You won't regret it. It'll happen pretty quickly. Just think about the last time you made a delicious meal that was good for you, or the last time you went to the gym. Think about the lasting effects of making that decision on your psyche. It's really important. You'll notice a difference immediately. And lastly, your gut health is going to improve. Okay, this may not be something that you notice exactly immediately, but we as physicians are noting more and more how important the gut microbiome is, how your gut microbiome may play a role in anything from your immunity to your brain health, to anxiety and depression. So in addition to possibly helping all these other things in your body, you'll also have less bloating, most likely, and you may be more regular. These are important things that can affect you on a day-to-day basis, and I want you to pay attention to. Okay, did I convince you to eat healthy? I hope so. Or I hope that I at least gave you some ideas about what to pay attention to in your own body when you're making decisions to help benefit your health, making decisions every day to cook food at home, making decisions every day to use less salt, less fat, less sugar. There are many things that you can do every day, and you will notice the impacts immediately. It's much more difficult to make changes based on things in the future or things that are far away from you. So focus on the immediate changes, things that you see within the hours and minutes and days from when you eat something that's better for you. I think you'll see a real difference. Thanks so much for watching today. I'm Dr. Blake Schusterman. I'm a board-certified kidney doctor, and I'm also the cooking doc. Check out my website, cookingdoc.com, for more recipes and health tips. Check out my book, The Cooking Doc's Kidney Healthy Cooking, a modern 10-step guide to preventing and managing kidney disease. I will see you next time.
Okay, fathers, another live stream. Today's live stream, fathers, it was all about us, 100% about us. Our mental, physical, nutritional, and spiritual needs. So I enjoyed researching this live stream, putting it together. I looked at so many videos. There's so many great videos that are out there. But every week I bring together what I feel is necessary. And like I said, fathers, feel free to always do your own research. It's important that we always do our own research. And hopefully I was able to bring something to you that can help you become a better father, or propel you to do your own research and, look at yourself in the mirror and see exactly which direction you need to start going. Okay, fathers? So today, like I said, today's live stream was 100% about fathers of daughters. All right, fathers, we're done. And, I'll be back again next week for another live stream. I appreciate you being here, being present. And, fathers, we have a lot on our plates. So let's take it one day at a time. And God's going to bless us, though. We just got to do our part. Okay, fathers, mis amigos, la próxima semana, paz, adios. Fathers, I'm out until next week's live stream. This is Ephraim B. Martin, 59 years of age. Appreciate you. I'll holla at you. Peace.